Right, more of your news now. A 41-year-old man and a 15-year-old girl have appeared in court charged with a second murder in Ipswich. Desmond Thorpe, who was 43, was found dead at a house in Limerick Close in August. Paul Clark, formerly of Mountbatten Close, and the teenager, who cannot be named for legal reasons, are also accused of murdering Rosalind Hunt.
Wildlife experts in Norfolk are urging fishermen to clear up after themselves after a fish hook nearly killed a swan.
The Eastwinch Wildlife Centre near King's Lynn says it's now taking in 2 swans a week because of angling litter. Laura Burns reports.
Taking tentative steps towards a full recovery. As he glides into the water, it's hard to believe this swan has spent the last week in intensive care after getting a 3-barbed fish hook embedded in his face and neck. It happened on the River Great Ouse near Ely last Wednesday. The hook was attached to a fishing line, meaning he couldn't lift his head or feet. If a member of the public hadn't contacted the RSPCA, officers believe he would have died. Instead, the swan, seen here with the orange ring, was rescued and brought here to Eastwinch Wildlife Centre. They managed to remove the hook by hand, but say he got off lightly and that fishing litter injuries like this are all too common.
We estimate on average that we have about 2 swans that come in per week with hook injuries. If you look at the swans behind me, 6 or 7 of them have had hook injuries. We also get them in with lines wrapped around their leg where they've ingested lead weights that the fishermen have used. It is a constant thing and it doesn't seem to be easing off.
This X-ray shows just how dangerous fishing litter can be. This gull was rescued by the centre just 2 days ago after swallowing an entire hook. It's still very early days in his recovery. The RSPCA is urging anglers to be more responsible around wild birds. They're asking them to use barbless hooks and when they leave the river, take their fishing hooks and lines away with them. As for this one, he's staying here until his wounds are healed and he's put on enough weight. Staff hope to release him back to where he came from in a couple of weeks. Laura Burns, Anglia News, King's Lynn.
Fire officers in Essex are urging caution ahead of this weekend's Hindu festival of Diwali. Senior officers say all candles used for the Festival of Lights should be in a secure holder and that all tea lights placed on a heat-resistant surface.
Police say a crackdown on binge drinking in Southend has proved a success. The town was one of 69 places that received a share of £1.4 million to take part in the government campaign. 5,000 litres of alcohol was confiscated between July and September across the country.
Well, football now, and a crucial period facing Ipswich Town and their manager Roy Keane.
Can they finally end their depressing run without a league win? That is a question, or will the pressure be too much with 2 home games within the next 4 days? Donovan Blake starts our preview at Portman Road.
Do I look relaxed? Yeah, I'm relaxed.
You'd have thought Roy Keane's mood today suggested his Ipswich team was higher up the Championship table rather than sitting rock bottom and still without a league win. So will that feel-good factor of a victory finally arrive here tomorrow? Ipswich have tried and failed 5 times so far on home soil this season, scoring just 3 goals in the process and conceding 9. Newcastle put 4 past Richard Wright in Ipswich's last home game, so the arrival of Portsmouth keeper Asmir Begovic on loan means more competition for him for tomorrow's meeting with Swansea.
More competition, and it'll keep the other keepers on their toes, and obviously the boys come in and he'll be looking to play in the first team as quick as possible.
At least Darren Ferguson's Peterborough have a win on the board, but they've lost 3 in a row ahead of their trip to Bristol City. Into League One, where losing is yet to be an issue for Colchester under A.D. Boothroyd. In fact, the U's could be top tomorrow night with a win at Wickham. Southend players, including skipper Adam Barrett, have had to stew on a home defeat for more than a week, so an opportunity to respond tomorrow when they host Bristol Rovers. But Paul Lambert's Norwich have to wait until Monday night before they resume what's turning out to be a flourishing League One campaign at Leeds. So what feedback is Lambert getting from City fans after 8 weeks in charge?
The fans and the players are certainly bouncing off each other, which is great. But the most important people, as I said before, is players and fans. And all we can do is try and give them that little bit of help and try and make this football club better than what it has been.
And Lambert's main fitness concern ahead of Monday is over Jonathan Semmerbor, who missed last week's win at Carlisle. Donovan Blake, Anglia News.
A new dredger has been launched to improve access to Wells Harbour. It's hoped the dredger will help get boats to and from the planned Sheringham Shoal wind farm. The boat was named the Kari Haga after an employee of the Norwegian company behind the £1 billion project, and Kari herself was there to launch it.
At the moment it's 3 hours either side of high water you can get in and out of Wells. Once we start digging and levelling that out, we're hoping to increase that to about 5 hours either side, possibly more. And the thing about that is the boats will be able to come in and go out more than they can at the moment.
And Southend is bidding to become the UK's first capital of culture. The Essex seaside resort will compete with Manchester, Durham and Derby for the title, which the winner will be able to use throughout 2013. The winner will also host some national cultural events.
Now I'm glad to say it's back to that story on when children should start serious learning at school. Here is Claire McGlasson.
Playing hide and seek. Putting on a puppet show.
I have a zoo at my house.
6-year-old Joseph is busy building a den, while most boys his age are knuckling down at desks.
It may look like these children are just playing, but according to the philosophy here, they're actually hard at work, learning lessons in life.
At the Cambridge Steiner School in Fulbourn, children don't begin formal education until they are at least 6 years old.
Really, it is about, seeing that it's important for them to have their childhood properly, and that's not going to do them any harm. It's going to do them a world of good later on, really.
According to academics from Cambridge University, this should become standard practice in our schools. A 6-year study found that young children learn better through play than through lessons. It also concluded that too much emphasis on the 3 R's have meant that subjects like history have been squeezed out, that learning is skewed towards the subjects which are used to draw up league tables, and that SATs, used to assess performance, should be scrapped.
It isn't just messing about, and it isn't at all messing about. It is actually a rigorous approach in which we're interested in developing children's mental capacities and their social capacities and their linguistic capacities to profit from school.
But the government has rejected the findings.
When pupils enter Key Stage 1 at 5 years of age into Year 1, that there is a need then for some formal education, particularly in maths, in science and in English.
In Great Shelford near Cambridge today, concern from parents about the pressure their children are under.
My little boy's 6, he's in Year 1 and he's struggling a little, and I just feel that there's too much emphasis put on the actual learning side.
It's silly, they should be playing at an early age.
And they are kind of pushed very, very young to read homework from age 4.
There are 2 schools of thought. One that says delaying primary education could hold children back. The other insists that childhood is a journey, not a race. Claire McGlasson, Anglia News, Fulbourn, near Cambridge.
That report well worth